Hey everyone, and welcome to the Ask Nicole weekly live stream. I'm Nicole, and sometimes people ask me things, and I try to answer tech and marketing questions as it relates to small business. So my name's Nicole. I'm the owner of Breaking Even Communications, and because it came up today in a meeting I was in earlier, I actually have 4 other employees that aren't me that work at the company. I'm just the sort of one who wants to be public facing. And I'm not one of those people that makes people go on videos or anything against their will. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there that it's not just me. There are multiple people that are not me who are just not on the video. So if you like what you're going to watch today, I just want to point out to you that we're on YouTube. If you search for Breaking Even Communications, you can subscribe and see past videos that are on playlists. So today's topic is all about timing in social media. It's one of the most commonly asked questions that people ask me is, when should I post something? Or, is that really important or whatever? And obviously, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version in case you're not going to watch this whole thing, which is that if there was one time that worked for everybody, we would all just do it. Or I would tell you how to do it and make a lot of money and lay on a beach somewhere. But the reality is that we have to do a little bit of experimenting to find the right times. But rather than you, I guess, believing me, I wanted to actually pull some stats together. And so what I did is I looked at social media scheduling software, and a lot of them, have aggregate data of when postings go live and how they work and how engaged people are. And so I looked at 2 studies for this live stream. One is some data from Social Sprout, and it used data from over 20,000 customers. That's what the report said anyway. So I don't know how many people exactly, just more than 20,000. And they have some recommended times based on the aggregate data of their platform. Now, let's just take one of these. So let's just look at Instagram, which is the second one down, Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And also Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. general, but Tuesdays at 11 a.m. being best. Okay, let's keep that in mind. And let's look at another study, shall we? So this one is put on by Hootsuite. This one says Wednesdays at 11 a.m. are best. So these people agree that 11 a.m. is best, but Social Sprout is saying Tuesday is best, and Hootsuite is saying Wednesdays is best. So Hootsuite, again, it's aggregate data taken from over 30,000 different social media posts. So they're not saying accounts here, they're saying posts. So now, besides aggregate data, also I've seen some things that have broken down data into things like industry. So I just took 2 industries at random, kind of went Halloween themed here for this. So if we look, on the left side is healthcare, on the right side is nonprofits. So on Instagram for nonprofits, okay, the second one down, for the best time for healthcare Instagram is Tuesday at 8 a.m. That certainly does not sound like Tuesday at 11 a.m., does it? Right? So the aggregate data is different, right, than the data that's specifically pulled about healthcare. And let's look at nonprofits for Instagram. Wednesdays 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That does not sound like Tuesday at 11 a.m. at all for the nonprofits. So, okay, what gives, right? Because if we think about it, like there are, and if you just look on like Pinterest or something, like you will see like infinite, like here are the best times to post on social media, as if it's this easy thing to figure out. But the reality is that it isn't, but we want to make it sound easy, right? Because we want things to feel doable. And I understand that. Like I also want to make things feel doable to people. Now, besides social media, there's other things that you can time. And what was interesting was when I was pulling some stuff together for, so we have 2 co-working spaces, one in Maine and one in New York State. And both of them have separate email newsletters. So they're in the same MailChimp account, but it's a segmented list. So what I thought would be interesting is like, okay, let's see. We have the paid feature on this account. So one of the paid features of MailChimp is it will send out the email at the best possible time for you. So here's what's interesting. So this is the data for Maine. So we send it out on Fridays, typically, the email newsletter. I was supposed to send it out last Friday, but I didn't proof it in time. So it's going out this Friday. And as you see, it says 8 a.m. on Friday is the best possible time for this email newsletter. Okay. So now same idea of a company, right? But the New York State list, the best possible time is 12 p.m. And this is based on, how our open rate has been during different times of the day throughout the history of this section of the list, right? So 2 different times, even for the same like MailChimp account, sending to different segments. And what they obviously want to do is look at the history of our data and send it at the best possible time for us. And it was really funny. This was aggregate data that MailChimp had. I was looking at their report for the optimal day of the week. And as you see, it makes sense that many industries, right, have higher open rates during the week because that's when people are at work checking their email probably more often than they are on the weekend. But then they're like, okay, well, but some industries have optimal sending time on the weekend. So as you see here, like hobbies, retail, e-commerce have a better than typical open rate on the weekends. So there are exceptions to every rule. I also thought it was interesting how they aggregated data based on age. So, like what time of day people open emails is different for different age ranges. Also, even percentage open rate can vary based on what country people are opening the email in. It could be a time zone thing. It could also just be a sort of lifestyle of that particular country. Okay. So I just said a lot of stuff, which basically makes my case that social media timing works different for everybody. So you're watching this, you're like, what am I supposed to do with this information? And I totally get it. So I made this summary slide. Does it matter? It does matter, but like not in the way that you think it matters. So I would say I do not think that the timing matters. If you are spending all your time figuring out whether you should send an Instagram update out at 8 a.m. versus 10 a.m., I don't know. I don't think that is the right question to be asking. What I would do is experiment with posting during your most engaging times, and you'll be able to see that on the data of your particular social media platform. So I can see when people are most active, for example, on my Instagram or on my Facebook page. So I would experiment if I was somebody doing this kind of brand new with posting at times that people are engaged, as well as really random times, super early in the morning, super late at night, and see what works for you. You'll be able to see what posts are getting views, which posts are getting engagement. And you're going to want to do this over probably a few months, to be honest, because, you want to take out, you want to kind of eliminate factors of, does weekdays matter more than weekends and things like that. Obviously, if you're marketing in multiple time zones, posting during several different times of day is a good way to go because, if I'm marketing to Europe, it's 9:15-ish a.m. On East Coast time, but it's 6 hours ahead over there. They're like into the middle of their afternoon. So obviously I need to think about things differently, to think about time zones. When are people at work and opening emails, for example? Or when are people kind of taking a social media break in their day, maybe around lunchtime or, a little bit like after dinner, that kind of thing. You'll notice that, going live on video or video content in general can help you show up more in feeds. So for example, the reason that I go live in part is because, Facebook and other platforms prioritize live videos. I get a premiere, which kind of tells everyone it's coming up. And then when it goes live, people following get a notification. And then the recorded video stays on the page unless I've deleted it. So video content in general will show up in feeds more and also just generally be more engaging. If you're thinking about timing for email, you can try, I like this trick a lot, which is resending the email with a different subject line to people who didn't open the first email. I mean, obviously not immediately, give it a couple of days. And you can eke out usually another 10% open rate out of that. And don't be afraid. And on Facebook in particular, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for other platforms, to repeat your message a little bit because, the organic reach is relatively low on Facebook, and 2 to 3% of your audience sees any given post. So if you have a few hundred people on your Facebook page and you post something, 6 people are going to see it? If you post it again, like a couple of weeks later, odds are the same 6 people are going to see it again are slim to none. So, like I said, it's really interesting to experiment with the social media stuff. And I will say, video in particular has more of a long tail effect on social media. And what I mean by that is just that you'll continue to get views on it in a way that you don't necessarily get with other things. So I thought I'll show this to you really quick. So I use this reporting software called Dash This. I really like it a lot, and I'll just pull it in here. So this is, you know what, I'll make it. Ooh, look, I can do this now. Oh, that's fun. So this is my report for my accounts. So this is my YouTube channel. By the way, I have 91 subscribers. If you're watching this, can you subscribe to get me to 100? That would be awesome. But as you see here, look at the videos and how much the Tech Thursday, how to find blogs to read, I recorded at least 5 years ago, maybe longer. Alternatives to Google Analytics with James Noble. You might remember that if you've been a regular watcher of this program. That was recorded 6 or 9 months ago. So these videos have all been recorded, months and in some cases years ago, and are still getting views. Actually, the bottom one, what you need to know about DMARC, that was recorded last week. So that was the newest video. But as you see, it's not necessarily getting the most views because video is different. It hits different, as the kids say. So rather than, I guess, reading a Pinterest graphic that tells you to post at this particular time, you can try that, but also try posting at different times and see what works for your particular social media. It's something that I kind of do with my clients actually on a regular basis is, I change things up. I try different formats. I try different timing, and we see what works and try to do more of it. So that's something that a social media manager might be doing for you already if you have one. So don't get too hung up on posting at exactly the right time, because the reality is that if there was one time that worked perfectly for you and it was in some report of aggregate data on the internet, you would probably already be doing it. And then you're as successful as you're going to be already. So I hope that helps. Like I said, I don't mean to sort of poo-poo anyone's asking of this question. I understand why you're asking it. I just want you, to ask the best question that you can so that you can get the data you need to run your business. So thank you so much for watching. I want to remind you that we're on various social media platforms. You can also book a Calendly appointment if you want to have a consultation. And no obligation there. We have the exploratory call option if you want to do it that way. And thanks so much for watching. Again, find us anywhere you're watching this to see past videos. We have lots on websites, on sort of general business ideas like having subscription products and things like that. And we have more social media based videos like this as well. So the YouTube playlist has the playlist version, but otherwise they can be sort of randomly sprinkled wherever you're watching this particular video content. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you next week. Take care.